Hi, this is Curious Mystics Podcast, formerly Spiritual Mamas Podcast. Together we explore the mysteries of the spiritual world, sometimes boldly,
Sometimes cautiously.
but always with open hearts
And curious minds.
Let's go. Hello.
Hello.
It's Erica.
And Kim.
And we're Curious Mystics Podcast, and we're back today for some more fun.
How has everything been for you lately?
Pretty good. I can't complain. I had some crazy dreams last night. I don't know if it has to do with the day where it's a day after the full moon. So we're recording this. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but crazy.
I'm going to say that this full moon eclipse has been testing my limits. This past, I know this past week has been crazy for me, but like specifically the full moon happened Sunday, the 7th. And there was also a lunar eclipse at the same time, and energies were high in this household for sure.
Yeah, yes. I picked up at the hospital yesterday, and it was just like it was crazy. It was just like everybody was all over the place. All my patients were like trying to die, and I was like, please don't do that.
Yeah. Cut it out.
Can you just like not until I leave? So that was fun. And then family members were all up in my face and were upset about things. So it was definitely a testy day.
Yeah, I definitely felt it this time. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a rough couple days, but
yeah. But other than that, like I've been pretty good over here. Not too much else excitement.
Good. Well, we're coming to the other end of it, so hopefully things settle down a little bit.
Yeah, what's today? Yeah, today's the 999 portal.
Oh, okay. I wasn't even thinking about that. I don't even know where I am now.
Yeah, and it's like the last portal of the year, I believe.
Interesting.
And like it's super special because it's like the 999, so it's like obviously September 9th, and 2025 makes 9. So it's like super special.
Okay. So is there something that I need to be doing today?
You need to be resting and like recouping.
Okay.
For one. And it's not like, normally like the moons are supposed to be like manifesting and stuff like that, but this one was not. You're not supposed to have done that because it was like chaos energy. But this is kind of similar, but you're supposed to working on reflecting on everything that you want to let go and working on what you want to do to like kind of step into your new self and work on that.
Okay. So maybe not all of the like productive things I've been trying to do and getting all the things done. And I feel like I'm trying to, I don't even want to say this out loud. I feel like I'm trying to prepare for the winter shutdown, which we all know how I feel about. So I'm like trying to like make the most out of all of my time right now. And it's like prime fall weather, even though it's not technically fall.
It's feeling it though.
Yes, we leave our windows open overnight and it's like 50 degrees. It's so chilly. And then in the middle of the day it's 70, which isn't like hot, but if you're sitting out in the sun, you can feel the heat. And yeah, so I'm like, this is it.
No, today you need to chill.
All right, I'll work on it.
Well, this is a good segue because we're actually talking about the autumnal equinox today. There's a lot of like science and spirituality meet with these equinoxes. We've talked about this. We talked about it with the spring equinox episode. And so across cultures, the world celebrates like the balance, the harvest, and the gratitude If obviously that's kind of what's happening in your part of the world. If you don't have, I think at the opposite, like the southern hemisphere,
Mm-hmm.
it's what going into spring, right?
Yes, they're on the opposite end of
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah,
seasons. Yeah.
but so I want to take a minute and I want you to kind of, as you listen, to notice the seasons where you live. And as we talked about in the first part here, like the air is like getting a little bit crisper
Mm-hmm.
and it's a little bit like my area right here, there's already leaves falling. Um,
Yeah.
so it's like really, really feeling that way. And they're already changing color a little bit. But maybe it's still warm, like late summer,
Mm-hmm.
but the nights are starting to lengthen, and you can feel that subtle tilt towards autumn.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so the equinox just isn't an outer event in the sky. It's also an invitation for us to pause, breathe, and notice the balance within ourselves.
I think that's a beautiful way of describing what might happen naturally, like some of that
Mm-hmm.
slowing down and pausing, especially for this time of year. I mean, we live in New England, so
Mm-hmm.
it's beautiful. Driving down
Right.
84 and you're seeing the colors start to change on the leaves, and like
Mm-hmm.
all of that is it's a beautiful moment to be able to take in. So to
Mm-hmm.
say that this is the time to pause or to slow down, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I think like being intentional on like noticing the shifts
Mm-hmm.
is good. I feel like well, maybe not. I feel like the shifts for me going from excuse me, summer to autumn is a little bit more distinct and
Mm-hmm.
smoother is not the word. But like and then from winter to spring, it's kind of like one day it's like poof, like
Yeah.
everything is there,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I agree with you. We were having a conversation the other day about like seasons and what we prefer, and spring is just not my favorite season because it's usually really like muddy
Mm,
here. And it's like we go from spring to summer and it's like muddy and wet, and then it's the next day it's like 80 degrees, dry, sunny, maybe humid, and
yeah, there's like for whatever reason we don't have any sort of like change,
yeah.
transition, like slow transition anymore anyways. I
Yeah.
feel like as we were kids maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. All right, let's start with the science because there is something grounding about understanding the mechanics of what's happening. So,
Mm-hmm.
the word equinox comes from Latin, the equius meaning equal and nox meaning night, which we talked about again in the spring equinox one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of only 2 days each year when night and day are nearly equal in length all across the globe. So
Mm-hmm.
no matter what season you're in, night and day are equal
Yeah.
during this time. So what causes this? Earth, as we know, isn't straight up and down. It tilts on its axis about 23.5 degrees, which I didn't I know that. So apparently. And that tilt combined with our orbit around the sun is what gives us our seasons.
Right.
And at the equinox, the sun crosses directly over the celestial equator. And that's why if you went outside on the day of the equinox, which we're going to get into what day that is, um, and watch, the sun actually rises due east and sets due west,
Yeah.
which the rest of the year it doesn't. It's September 22nd. Oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
I thought I wrote that down. Is it the 22nd this year?
Yep.
Okay. I thought I wrote it down because I didn't.
Yes, this year it
Um,
is on the 22nd. So by the time this episode comes out, this will come out on the 23rd. So that it will have
mhm.
just happened yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. So at this moment, the days in the northern hemisphere are growing shorter
Mm-hmm.
and the nights are getting longer, like we said, until we reach the deep reset of the winter solstice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when we're at the not reset, the coldest, the shortest night. No, longest night.
Yeah.
The longest night is the winter solstice. Um, and humans have been tracking this for like thousands of years. Ancient people noticed their solar markers and built monuments to align them. We've talked about this before. Stonehenge in England, for example, is aligned with the solstices and also marks equinox points.
Mm-hmm.
In Mexico, at Chichen Itza, the Mayans built the Great Pyramid of El Castillo.
Mm-hmm.
And so that at the equinox, the setting sun creates a pattern of light that shadow looks like the serpent coming down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And these sites remind us that long before us, uh, like the people honored the balance of the heavens and saw the turning points as sacred.
Mm-hmm.
So, what does it mean to live in sync with these rhythms instead of part of them? Like we just talked about kind of like pausing and stuff like that. What do you think, like, because we haven't really talked about this, like, what would be a way to kind of like live in sync with these changes instead of kind of riling against them, which I feel like a lot of times I do,
Yeah.
the change.
I mean, the thing that comes to mind for me is what I was just talking about is like I have this push, and I don't know that it's necessarily natural because it feels like a sense of urgency, so maybe it's more anxiety, but this push to be like, now let me do all of the things and make the most out of all of the days and, prepare to bundle up for winter, when in reality that kind of goes against what this time of year might be meaning. It might be more beneficial, more significant to start to slow down, to pause, to reflect, to maybe I think of fall, I think of harvest. So maybe it would be more important to, reap the harvest as opposed to trying to make the most out of my days.
Right. Yeah. And reap the harvest, like both literally and then also kind of like in a figuratively sense of what have you done through the year?
Yeah.
Like what have you been planting and trying to grow through the year? Now it's time to kind of reflect and reap that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So let's get into spiritual meaning.
Mm-hmm.
The equinox has always carried deep spiritual symbolism. It's a threshold moment, a liminal space between seasons, a time when the scales balance, light and dark, inner and outer, masculine and feminine, action and rest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for just a moment, like everything kind of is in harmony on that day, which is really beautiful to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And then the shift begins. We start to step into the darker half of the year. Uh,
I'm just gonna cry. It's fine.
as you cry, you really are a child of the light.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I need the sun. So
you need the sun. You live in the wrong area.
I know.
You need to work on that.
I know.
Spiritually, this invites us to reflect, like I was just talking about, and what have we harvest from the choices, the intentions, and the energy that we planted earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Where have we been fruitful? And just as important, what do we now need to release?
Mm-hmm.
The trees release their leaves, so we need to start to release what doesn't serve us. Like we need to be done with it. Because we need to conserve our energy just like the trees need to. We need to conserve our own energy going into these months because it winter is hard. Like the darker months are hard.
Yeah.
So if we're kind of coming in depleted, we're just going to continue to be depleted
Yeah.
in the winter months. I mean, it's a real thing. SAD, the seasonal affective disorder, is a real
Mm-hmm.
thing because of the longer nights and the darker days and stuff like that and the colder time.
The other thing too that I think is just it's coming to mind for me right now, so I think it's probably an important thing to consider is there may have been things that we've used or done or put our energy into throughout the year that have been intentional, beneficial, successful, all of the things. But now we're coming into a time where maybe they're not serving us in the same way. And
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. But knowing that we can let go of that as well. And the example that comes to mind for me is like, there are some relationships that I have with family that I thrive on in the summer. And that's our time. And then we come into the winter months and I kind of shut down and pull away from them. And it doesn't mean that I care about them less. It doesn't mean that they're less significant for me. But our relationship dynamics very much work best, are rejuvenating for me, are exciting for me in that season. And coming into this season, it might be more draining to engage in those relationships. So I don't like completely cut them out, but then I minimize the contact that I have. I'm not seeing them 3 or 4 times a
Right.
week. I'm not, going to cookouts or to the beach or whatever with them all the time. But recognizing that it's okay to let go of some things or put things down and then let them resurface next year or next season or whatever.
Right.
Just like the cycles of nature naturally, come back
Yeah.
around.
That's an amazing reflection. I love that. Like I got goosebumps on that.
Thank you.
That was like it was very profound, but like not something I would probably think about.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't know
and
why it like just popped up, but it was like, yeah, it's okay to, you're talking about like letting things go, that don't serve you. And it's like, well, sometimes things serve us at certain points in our life and not in others. And that's okay
right.
too. So that's just the connection that my mind made.
Yeah, and maybe not putting them down forever, obviously. Like you don't have to like I guess I'm thinking like letting go, but maybe it doesn't have to be let go forever. It's just something that as a cycle,
Yeah.
it just cycles through.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, somebody needed to hear that, and maybe you needed to hear that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was amazing. That was an awesome reflection.
Thanks.
Um, so in Earth-based traditions, the equinox is often tied to themes of gratitude, balance, and letting go. It's a reminder that our lives move in cycles and not straight lines, like we were just said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the harvest is not the end; it's a preparation for winter rest, which in turn becomes the soil of spring's rebirth. I highly recommend anybody who does not like winter to listen to the episode that we did on the winter solstice
Yes.
because it turned my opinion of winter around 180.
Yeah.
Like how I see winter and how I might actually go listen to that again just to
Yeah.
like remind myself
Yeah.
how I see winter and what it means to have this season.
Mm-hmm.
And when we hit the solstice, it's then, yes, it's the longest night, but we're the next day, it starts to be brighter,
Mm-hmm.
even by minimal amounts. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's a celebration. So I highly recommend if you're not a winter person to go and listen to that episode. It really was kind of enlightening for me for sure. So,
I agree 1,000,000%. I mean, obviously not maybe for everyone, and some people really love winter, but I that's the thing that gets me through. That's the thought
mm-hmm.
process that gets me through the winter is like, okay, this day is significant and it gets better from here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so as we sit with this, I want to invite you to like reflect on like three things. And where is balance calling you right now?
Hmm. Hey friends, we just wanted to take a moment to remind you all that you can interact with us on social media. We can be found at Curious Mystics Podcast on all platforms.
And if you haven't already, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share so that we can keep showing up for you guys with new weekly episodes and content. Thank you for hanging out with us so far, and stay curious.
Are you asking me to answer that right
I
now?
mean, you can, and I'm sitting here thinking myself, where is balance calling me right now?
Okay. I feel like that's a hard thing for me to answer,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe something that I should sit with and maybe meditate
Yeah.
on, because I feel, I mean, I have already talked about like how I feel like this urgency to make the most out of things,
Yeah.
but I feel pulled in so many different directions right now, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's signifying that I'm not balanced right now, and so I need
Mm-hmm.
to find that
Yeah.
balance. Like I couldn't answer
I
that.
mm-hmm. Well, maybe these would be really good journal prompts
Yeah.
or meditation starts.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've been a little bit chaotic. Like my Zen room right now is not very Zen. I need to clean it.
Yeah.
It's very, I mean, I'm looking around going, just don't look, just don't
Yeah.
look. So I really need it. Maybe I need to do that as an intention that I really need to do. So, all
Hmm.
right. So the next one, what shadows have been asking us to be acknowledged?
I
That's
don't
a
like
good
that.
one.
I don't
Yeah,
like it.
right.
There's things that automatically come to mind, so I know that that's the answer. I know the
Mm,
answers to that, and I don't
yeah.
want to acknowledge them right
Yeah.
now. I'm very much trying to avoid.
Well, yeah, I think that's why they're shadows, right? Like because they're hanging out in the shadows, and we need to like put light on them.
Yeah.
What blessings are you ready to give thanks for before turning inward?
I love that question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love that question, and there are things that come to mind that are very superficial,
Mm,
and I would
that works
love
too.
to go deeper with it. I would love to sit with that a little bit longer and like really consider not just like a this is an answer just to give you an answer type of thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the first thing that comes to my mind, and I've been talking about this, and people are probably like, it's a garden, get over it. But I've been so blessed by this
Yeah.
garden. And I'm going to say it again. I have struggled for 10 years to have a garden that did anything. And right now I'm staring at tomatoes that I have no idea what to do. I have like 14 tomatoes on my counter. I don't know what to do with. And it's just I just been so blessed over it. So
No, your garden is beautiful. And to turn the space that was there like into that to make the
mhm.
most out of that space and to make it something that was very fruitful, very productive, very beautiful. I
Mhm.
could definitely
Yeah.
see why.
So I obviously have to think about other ones, but that's the first one that comes to
Yeah,
my mind. So
I
yeah,
like it.
so yeah, use these for meditation, use these for maybe use them for when you're doing tarot or anything like that. So use those three things and see what comes up for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cultural celebrations around the world.
Mm.
All right, cultures across the world have honored the equinox in different ways, but the themes generally are the same: gratitude, balance, and the cycles of the earth,
Mm-hmm.
like we said. So, in Celtic and pagan traditions, the autumnal equinox is actually celebrated as Mabon,
Okay.
excuse me, sometimes called the witches' Thanksgiving, which is fun. It's a time of gathering, feasting, and gratitude. And people would offer thanks for the harvest, share meals with family and community, and honor the balance of light and dark.
Mm.
And altars might be decorated with apples, gourds, wheat stalks, and symbols of abundance. Do you change your altar? Well, you have an altar, right? Do you change it ever, like for the seasons or anything like that?
I haven't. I haven't. Previously, but it was something that I'd been thinking about recently. My space is a hot mess right now, like you were saying,
Mine
yours
too.
is. And I've like almost every day have had this urge to like clear it all out and start from scratch. And one of the things that I was thinking about is like, how can I keep up with it? And if I am doing something to change it with the seasons or to make it very specific to, whatever might be important that's coming up, that could be helpful in not letting it get like this.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, I don't either.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really figured out. I don't have like a huge altar, so it's not like
Yeah.
something that I have a ton of space for. But I was just thinking is that I like that idea that makes it more intentional that you would go to you to like make
Mm-hmm.
sure it's not cluttered. But maybe having just a small space that even if it's to put a leaf there for the autumnal equinox or put just like something like just even one
Yeah.
thing, um, that might make it good.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about like symbolism and the representation of things before and how important that can be and how easy it can be to access sometimes. The other thought that I was having, and I just now it feels like so faint. I don't know if I was having like a conscious stream of thought about this the other day, or if this was something that I dreamt about, but I was thinking of like my house as my altar space, and how I
Wow.
I should do things a little bit differently. There are things that I definitely do, especially with like cleaning routines and cleansing, like energetic cleansing and things like that, protection and stuff. But there are things that I could be doing a little bit differently to maintain the entire space as
Mm-hmm.
a protective sacred space. And I'm pretty clear about, like, even people that are stepping into the house that don't live here, what are the protections that need to be in place? What are the expectations of how these interactions are going to go? What are the things that I'm not allowing to stay here, not allowing to absorb?
Mm.
And what are the things, like, all of that I do
Yeah.
think about. So,
Yeah, I feel like you're very good with like kind of like that everyday putting this into practice, like date like situation to situation. But I love the idea of making the house as your as an alt extension of your
yeah.
altar as well.
Yeah.
I love that. I actually was watching this creator and I cannot think of his name. I'll link it if I can find him again. He's a practitioner of witchcraft,
Mm-hmm.
and he said kind of the first quote unquote familiar of a witch
Mm-hmm.
is their house,
Oh.
and you should talk to it and listen to it and
Mm-hmm.
like celebrate it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so yeah, I thought it was interesting. I thought that was kind of a cool situation.
Yeah. Just thinking about, like, that, the space that we're in so often and how we use that on a day to day, like if it's intentional or not, what that looks like for
Mm-hmm.
us.
Yep. So in China and many East Asian cultures, the equinox coincides with the mid-autumn festival, and families come together to honor the full moon, which
Mm-hmm.
symbolizes reunion and harmony.
Mm-hmm.
And they share moon cakes, light lanterns, and gather to watch the glowing moon rise in the sky. And it's a festival of beauty, gratitude, and family connection.
No, I love that.
I just like the idea of having a moon cake.
Yeah.
And among many Native American tribes, autumn is also time of harvest festivals, honoring the gifts of corn, beans, squash, and the cycles of planting and reaping.
Mm-hmm.
And ceremonies often include dance, song, and prayers of thanks to the earth and creator.
Mm.
I don't know. I just love like the ceremonies that a lot of the tribes do. I just think it's so, I don't know. I think they have it. They have it. They have it right, I think.
There's a lot of connection there,
Yeah.
which I
Hmm.
appreciate for sure.
Hmm. In Greek mythology, the equinox is woven in the story of Persephone,
Oh.
the goddess of spring, who descends into the underworld for half of the year. So her descent marks the coming of autumn and winter,
Mm-hmm.
and then her return brings spring and summer.
Okay. Yep.
So this myth captures the like eternal cycle of light and dark and
Mm-hmm.
death and rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
And then in Japan, there's Tsukimi, the moon viewing festival,
Mm.
where people gather to admire the harvest moon, decorate with pampas grass, and eat rice dumplings in gratitude for the season's bounty.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I did the shared balance of like moon gazing and feasting and storytelling
Yeah.
and coming together with family is all kind of the same across cultures.
Mm-hmm.
And really, it's kind of like a time to say thank you
Mm-hmm.
for everything.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess you could see where Thanksgiving kind of came from
Right.
in the United States. Um, it's a little bit, I think the story behind it, it's a little off
Yeah.
from what really happened, but I think the idea was probably taken from some of these traditions.
Yeah. Yeah. That gratitude and giving thanks.
Hmm. Hmm. So we already talked a little bit about some rituals and practices that we could do, but here's some more. Gratitude harvest ritual. So if anyone wants to write these down, I got like 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So take some time to write down what you've harvested this year. And these can be achievements, lessons, relationships, moments of joy, and write each one on a small piece of paper and place them in a basket or a bowl, like symbolic fruits for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And sit with them, hold gratitude for each, and feel the fullness of what this year has given you.
I love that.
Yeah. There's the balance candle ritual. So you light two candles, one white, one black,
Okay.
and you sit between them and breathe deeply.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine inhaling the light in the light from the white and exhaling into the dark and allowing both to coexist in harmony.
Mm.
And reflect on which parts of your life feel like overexposed, overactive,
Mm-hmm.
and which are hidden or neglected.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a way to realign your energy.
I feel like that's something that's maybe easily accessible,
Mm-hmm.
something that could be easily achieved by just having the candles and being able to.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be even specific colors. Maybe it's just one side or the other. You pick the side.
Yeah.
So, nature connection walk. Go for a mindful walk in nature and collect leaves, acorns, feathers,
Mm-hmm.
and offer gratitude as you walk. And if you feel called, leave an offering for the earth, a little water, herbs, birdseed, or cornmeal. You can also do oats.
Mm-hmm.
These kind of acts of reciprocity
Mm-hmm.
connect us with the cycles of giving and receiving.
Yeah.
Now, in the shamanic practice, we always leave. If we take, we always leave an
Yeah.
offering. But whatever your practice is.
Mm-hmm.
And a seasonal feast. Cook a meal with autumn's gifts, apples, squash, corn, root vegetables, and eat it with intention,
Mm-hmm.
savoring each bite. And if you can, share this meal with family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
And community and gratitude are a heart of equinox traditions.
That one I think is like my favorite of the ones you listed because I love to eat. But
Yeah.
it's also like there's something very distinct about fall foods.
Mm-hmm.
Like the flavor profile of that sweet, that savory, that spicy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Yep.
having those spices incorporated in it. And
Yep. It's like warm.
yes.
Like
Yeah.
the spices are warm. Yeah, absolutely. Fall foods, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite foods. Um, and I was, when I was doing this one, I was thinking about Friendsgiving is a thing now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's great. I think it's awesome. And this could be something that you could do as a Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
Not that you couldn't do it with like Thanksgiving, but I like it as like a kind of a separate
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think for a lot of people who do Thanksgiving, there's like, in my family, there's traditional, like our go-to foods every year,
mhm.
which I love, but it's always the same.
Right.
We're not playing with it.
Right.
So this could be a way of like, hey, let's be playful with it. Let's change it up. Let's try something new. Let's try something different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I mean, in my mind, when you get together for Thanksgiving, you're expecting turkey, a specific type of stuffing, a specific type of vegetable. You know what I mean? Like there's specifics you're expecting.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then finally, a release ritual. Take a piece of paper and write down what you're ready to let go of.
Mm-hmm.
Old habits, thoughts, patterns, relationships, fears. And when you're ready, we do what my favorite thing to do is burn the paper
Yes.
or bury it in the earth. Or we've talked about this before, like put it on a leaf and crumble it or let it blow away or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then imagine the earth composting these old energies, transforming them into fertile soil for what's next.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's return to the heart of the equinox, balance.
Yeah.
So it's both a scientific event and a spiritual event.
Mm-hmm.
It's the moment when the earth itself reminds us to pause, reflect, and honor both the light and the shadow.
Yeah. It's a good reminder, I think. I mean, personally, in this moment in my life, I obviously need more balance and It's a good reminder. I'm glad that we did this
Hmm.
today. That like, oh yeah, bring it back around.
Yeah, and I think also because we're coming off kind of this chaos energy from this most recent full moon, I think it's also very like up in our minds about how
Mm-hmm.
how unbalanced, like at least I've been, like
Yeah.
saying. So I think this is good to kind of turn it around and work with that.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever you are in your own life cycle, may you find gratitude for the harvest, courage to release what no longer serves you, and balance between what is ending and what is just beginning.
Mm.
So this is the day after the equinox that we're putting this out, unfortunately. But I do invite you to step outside at sunset
Mm-hmm.
and watch the sun dip down, knowing it's setting perfectly to the west. Although, I mean, it's not going to be perfectly to the west, but it's pretty much the same as
Mm-hmm.
the day after.
Mm-hmm.
And just notice that balance
Yeah. Yeah.
and just feel yourself as part of that balance and ancient rhythm.
Yeah, and like we talk about with anything else, like we talk about this with like the full moon and, eclipses or things like that, that energy is still there in the days
Hmm.
before and the days after. So even though it's one day after and you're not going to find it perfectly equal, it's going to be as close as it gets until spring. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can still engage in some of those activities and
Hmm.
experience that energy.
I'd love to hear if anybody does any of these rituals or does those journal prompts or the
Mm-hmm.
meditations that we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
If what they thought of them and if they got any insight or felt anything different.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know. Hit us up.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next time.
Stay.
Curious.